after you get around the repair, you can go around the edges with your fingernail and try to pull up any loose edges that there may be. There's a slight loose edge here that we would want to re-weld. This side is generally pretty tight. You will see a little bit of white fringing there, and that's basically where the scrim on the outside of the fabric has just got warm and pulled away. There's no deficiency with the fabric at that point. It just kind of retracted a little bit. So I do see, a little bit of opportunity along this edge where we just didn't get it hot enough. We got it hot in the center. You can see where it's a little bit deformed. So we just need to walk around this edge. And again, don't be scared to kind of pull, because if you can pull it off, it just means that the joint did not get hot enough. This is normally a lot easier to do when it's on a building and it's not moving around under you when you're trying to work with it. I could just as easily have taped it down, I guess, but just to kind of show you an example there. So we'll go around on this end. Same scenario, we'll put our roller in place where it needs to be. Watch for the fabric to shrink up a little bit. That gives us our sign that we're hot. So now we can see that there was a little bit of discoloration here. There's really no great way to show it in the camera. However, that just comes from the roller. As the fabric got hot, the roller went over. The colored part just stuck to the roller and it just peeled it off. Again, it doesn't hurt the fabric, so to speak. It's just basically showing what happens as you heat it up. So now we can see we have a constant bond all the way around. There's no loose fringing or no loose edges anywhere to peel up. As you can see, the patch itself looks generally pretty well. Some people will touch this up with a Sharpie marker. Again, it's just by how the color kind of shrunk together. When you look at it on the back side, you can see that everything was perfectly hot. You can sometimes peel these edges off, and in the case that you can, I would just take the welder through from the back side, touch that up just to make sure that it's good. But in general, that's all that it really takes. I have another one right here that will do a quick repair on just to show you the difference. So this one we can see it does go at a different angle. It's going cut acrosswise in the fabric as opposed to up and down. So we'll start off the same way. We will go in with the scissors. We'll cut off any type of fringing that happens to be there. And whether this is a long tear or a short tear, the process is still the same. On longer tears, what I would normally do is I would go and put another piece of repair fabric on the back side of the tear, not just the front, and that'll give you double the weld strength. So on here again, we're going to try to line up the fabric so it's in the same orientation, which would be this direction. And we'll flip it over. I will take my marker, just kind of draw that out so I know how big to make it. Cut accordingly, and this one I got a little bit tighter than I would have liked to on the bottom, but we can make up for that on the top. We'll take our alcohol soaked rag here, wipe that off, make sure that we're clean on both of the adhesive surfaces where we're going to weld. Turn the heat back on in our welder. Now we can see this here. We're going to get this kind of in place. And again, the way that I would start off with this is I would likely duct tape one end of this down so it does not have the ability to move when I start it off. get it kind of oriented the right way. We'll grab our welder, get that seam just started just so it holds the fabric in place. This hole, as you can see, is a little bit wider, so we'll just go down one side each. So we'll start with our roller in place where we had just attached. We'll gently heat. As it gets hot, we'll just roll it out. Making sure that we see that slight deformation in the fabric, just meaning that we got it hot enough. And we'll kind of peel this back on the other side while it's still a little warm. We can see it kind of release. Gently apply some heat. You can see right here we have a little tab that didn't get enough heat. And again, on this gray color fabric, you do see a little bit of fringing there, just where the fabric got a little hot and it just burned through that scrim. Again, it's a lot easier when the substrate is solidly mounted. You can work with it, you don't have to hold it down while you're trying to weld, so it just got a little bit too hot there for what I would normally do. And again, I would try that on a sample piece of fabric before I did this. When we look at it from the back side, we can see that it's got nice deformation around the hole itself, so we know that there's good adhesion there. And you know, from a distance of 5 to 10 feet, you won't see it at all. Thanks. Have a great day.